Hello everyone. I am sitting at my son's school. He has speech therapy on 2 days a week for 30 minutes. So I bring him over here, and my other son's at home with the babysitter, and this is just kind of our routine. So we're actually in the last week of school right now before they break for summer, and then we'll be switching schedules to do some summer camp stuff, I guess. One of the perks of coaching is that I get to be here for this stuff, though. Like, I get to not have to have someone else drive my kids around, which is like one of my biggest worries as a mom, is having someone else drive my kids. So I'm loving the fact that I get to take them and do the things with them. So anyway, I wanted to chat with you guys just a little bit about like what my story is, how I got started in coaching, and what led me to where I am now. 2 years and 3 months into this. I started in March of 2016. So it's been 2 years, 3 months. Anyway, so my story before coaching, my story with fitness and life in general and such. First of all, so you guys know, I am a mama. I have 2 babies. Both of them were born via C-section. They are 13 months apart. So they are both boys. They are now 2.5 years old and 3.5 years old. So to say my hands are full is like an understatement. But my husband and I, we met when we were working together. I was working at a car dealership. I have a degree in journalism and mass communications, and I was the digital marketing manager for the car dealership. So I worked as a digital marketing manager. I have a lot of background in marketing and writing, editing, social media, that kind of stuff. So I was running my own business for a while. I was a nanny right out of college. I became a nanny. Then I started freelance writing. So I lived in Pennsylvania, was working in New York City, and I would commute back and forth a couple times a month. And then like love and breakups happened. And I ended up just needing I just needed stability, and I needed like community. So I ended up getting a job. That's why I ended up getting the job at the car dealership, which thankfully I did because I met my husband. But I got a job at the car dealership as a marketing manager. Someone had found me on LinkedIn wanting me to do his newsletter for the car dealership with my marketing company. And I met him at the dealership. He was an older gentleman, and I met him, and he's like, well, we need somebody to do our internet stuff. And they got me in. That's how I started that. So I was there. Same guy that found me on LinkedIn messages me over the intercom, and he goes, Stephanie Hacker departs. And I was like, oh geez, what does he want? And this guy, like, he's a prankster, and he's good old time. So I was like, this is something that's not work related. So I went back to parts. There's no reason I needed to be in parts. So I went back there, and there's Paul, my husband, on the other side of the counter, red as can be, like cherry tomato red, sitting at the other end of the container, like kind of laughing, kind of with his head down, like, and my friend Jim, the one that had gotten me the job, he's just like, oh, have you met my friend Paul? And I was like, hi Paul, it's nice to meet you. And I like walked away. I was like, Jim, stop, leave me alone. Well, later that night, like by later I mean like midnight that night, Paul messages me on Facebook, and he's like, hey, when do I get to take you out on a date? And I'm like, I'm a manager, you're an employee, I can't do that. And he's like, well, rules were meant to be broken. So that Friday night we went out on a date, and he never left my house. He just stayed, and he never left. So that's our love story. Obviously things got complicated from there, as all relationships do, but we've been through our shit. We broke up once while we were dating, and ended up getting back together. We immediately got pregnant when we got back together. He moved back in with me, and we experienced our first miscarriage. So that was hard for us. We went through it was hard. Like, we were really, really excited about that baby, and then we lost the baby, and it kind of destroyed me for a little while, like really destroyed me for a very little while. But I didn't know how to handle that. I didn't know how to grieve it. We were still very new in our relationship, and we didn't know how to like comfort each other really. So we were still like learning each other through that whole process. And then 2 weeks later, after I had a D&C, I got pregnant with Christian. He was our little miracle baby. So we got pregnant. We were just dating, by the way. We were dating, and ended up our parents were like, well, when are you going to get married? Like, pushing us to do that. So we got engaged in May. We got pregnant in January, I guess, January. Engaged in May, married in August. Total shotgun wedding. My dream wedding, we got married in a barn, and we got married in a field. Reception was in the barn. We completely redid the barn. It was like completely like it was a used barn. Like it was a usable barn. Hay all over the floor, like just, it had not been used in like 20 years probably. So we redid the barn with the help of our men, and had a beautiful wedding, gorgeous wedding. The barn is still awesome. Actually, Amish people bought the barn now, so they run and operate the barn as a tobacco farm, I think is what it is now. And I think they have dairy cows. But anyway, that is how we started our relationship. We started it off crazy, and then we had Christian, and 4 months later we decided, hey, let's move across the country. So we moved from Pennsylvania down to South Carolina. We don't know anyone here. We honeymooned here, and we kind of fell in love. So we kind of just moved. We just picked up and left, and we rented a house sight unseen. Never saw the house before we moved into it. Thankfully, it was a beautiful house. And same weekend that we moved here, I found out I was pregnant with baby number 2. And that was a shocker. I cried for a long time. I felt guilty as a mom. I felt scared. I was like, I had no help. I had no anything. Like I didn't even know what to do. So that was a lot for me to take in, having just moved. But we did it. And it was really hard pregnancy because I was already taking care of a baby, and I was already nursing a baby. It was really hard on my body. I didn't really take care of myself at all. I just kind of went with the flow, ate what I wanted, and just did my thing. And then, but I never bounced back from Christian because I didn't even have time. I was only 4 months postpartum. So then I had Finley, and my hormones were a jackball. Like they were just all messed up. So we ended up, Paul and I were in a really terrible place. We were in a very, very awful place. During my pregnancy, I should back it up, sorry. Back it up to after I had Christian, like right after, I was like, I want to get back in shape. So I ended up purchasing the 21 Day Fix from a coach. And I didn't really have any support or help from that coach. And I hated the Shakeology. I literally blended it with ice cream just so that I would drink it. And it was awful. It was disgusting. I hated it. Like, I'm not even afraid to admit that. And I kept getting bags of it delivered to my house, and I was like, what is this shit? Like, stop sending me this stuff. So I had a terrible taste in my mouth about Beachbody. But then during my pregnancy with Finn, I was watching, who's now my coach, Nicolette, have this fit and awesome pregnancy. She reached out to me. She's like, hey, I see you're going to be a 202 mom too. Like, what are you worried about and stuff? Like, we just talked and we chatted all the time throughout my pregnancy. She let me join one of her challenge groups, is what we call them, like an accountability group, just a Facebook group, private Facebook group, where we all do a program together and we're all drinking our shakes. And she didn't make me buy anything because I already had it, and I wasn't going to invest in it because I didn't even like it. So I did the 21 Day Fix postpartum with Finn. At 6 weeks, I started the 21 Day Fix, and I lost 12 pounds in 21 days, and it was amazing. It was the best thing that I could have done. And then I spent the next 21 days after that too. I did it again. I did 2 rounds of 21 Day Fix, and then a new program came out. So I was like, all right, like, what is this new program? And that's when that's when I signed up with the discount. But in my life at that time, I was in a really bad place. Paul and I were at rock bottom. Like, I don't even think that I can explain like how bad life was at that moment. The words that were exchanged, the feelings that weren't even there, just the loss of, like, we just didn't even have it. Like, there was nothing. There was 100% nothing. In fact, it was like, it's not even that it was nothing. It was like in reverse. Like, we hated each other. And it's not like we loved each other and hated each other. We hated each other. And it was just really, really bad. We started counseling. It didn't work. It just, nothing was working. We tried going to church, and the things that he would say to me on the way to church was just awful. And then I'd get like ridiculed after church about, like, well, did you hear what they said? And it was like as if we were only going to church for me. And it was a really, really awful, awful time in our marriage. So I ended up going to a lawyer's office, and I was like, how do I get out? What do I have to do? We don't live like no families here. Like, how do I leave the state with my kids and not get in trouble for it? Like, I didn't know what I was getting myself into by moving, and I was scared. Like, I felt like I was isolated, and it was getting emotionally and physical, and it was just not okay. And it was awful. And that same day, I left the lawyer's office. I went to a police officer's office, spoke with the police officer, and then went home. And I didn't do anything about it. Like, I didn't act on any of the things that I had learned that day. And I was like, what do I have to do? Like, I was asking for like a sign, like, tell me what I need to do. And I ended up, that next day was when I signed. It was my birthday, March 15th of 2016, my birthday. Not a great birthday, if I have to say so. But I ended up signing up as a coach, and I didn't know anything about it. I only signed up as a coach because I wanted the discount on my shakes, because I was drinking them, because Nicolette my coach taught me how to drink them so they tasted good. So I was drinking the shakes, and I wanted the discount, and the new cafe latte had just came out and stuff. So when you sign up as a coach, you get 25% off. So I was like, all right, sign me up with the coach discount so that I can get the discount. So I did that, and then she's like, do you want to be like an active coach? Do you want to work this? And I'm like, absolutely not. Like, first of all, I don't want to sell things. Like, salesy things are not for me. Like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to post on Facebook all the time. Like, I don't want to do this. I have a job already and I'm happy. Like, this is a joke. Like, I don't really want to do this for the business, but I'll take 25% off. So she's like, okay, well, I'm going to add you to the trainings anyway. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I like stumbled upon them. I was in a really bad place. Like I said, I was miserable, and I was sitting outside because he worked during the day and I was working from home. I still had my digital marketing company. So I was working from home, and I was laying out in the backyard getting some sun, and I was like, all right, let's look at these. So I started looking at the videos, and I was like, cool, this is kind of cool. And then I went to the next one, and I went to the next one. I kept watching these training videos, and I just became obsessed. I was like, look at these people, how successful they are, how happy they are. Like, they are happy in their marriages. They're able to provide for their kids. They're doing all these things that I want and I don't have. Like, if I did this, would I be happy? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm going to try it. So I did it, and I went all in within 24 hours. I was like, done, boom, I'm in. And I was all in, like, and I never took my foot off the gas. To this day, I've never taken my foot off the gas, and I have never regretted it one time. It has been the best decision I could have made for myself, for my family, for my marriage. Paul and I don't have a perfect marriage. We still don't, obviously. But I've now created and have been part of a community of people who also don't have perfect marriages, who also have been through the struggle, who are willing to help me and not judge me, who are willing to just listen, just be there. And that's majorly my why with coaching, is the community aspect. Like, we live here. I don't have a lot of friends here. I have my best friend here, who I've met since I moved here, who is now a coach as well. But beyond that, like, I don't have people here, and it's hard because even she has her people here. She has her family and stuff. So it's like, I can only like ask so much of her because she doesn't need me like I need her. She has her people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you all have those people who, like, they've got their people, but like, you need them. So anyway, coaching has given me friends in every single state. Coaching has given me a community, no matter what time of day or night, like, somebody is there for me. And like, that is my why. Like, that is and I want to be that person for other people, which is part of my why as well. Anyway, so that's my major story. That's brought me to where I am today. I started as a coach. My first month, I made like $500. I was like, this is pretty cool. So I was like, I wanted to pay for my own shakes, so I wasn't like gonna get shit from that from my husband for like spending money on stuff we don't need. And I just became absorbed. By my 6-month marker, I was making like $1,500 a month. By my 1 year, I was making like $2,500, and now I'm at a little over 2 years, and I'm making about $7,000 a month. And this has been my passion, my joy, my love, my everything. Like, I have my sister Cassie's on our team. I have her signed up, and she goes back and forth of coaching all the time, but I won't let her quit because I know the potential of this. And like, if that tells you anything, my sister, if I believe in this so much that I won't let my sister quit. She at this point, because she hasn't built a business yet, and I'm not afraid to say this, Cass, hopefully you watch this, but she hasn't built her business yet. She doesn't financially benefit me in any way, but I will not let her quit because I know the potential in this. I know what this can do for her life, and I know how badly I needed it, and I know how much I want it for her. So if that tells you guys anything, like that I love this so much that I make my sister do it, know that I love this so much for you. So that's a little bit about my story, my struggle points, my everything. Now, Paul, it took Paul a long time to get on board with me. It did. He was like hesitant. He was like this, he called it bitch body. Yeah, that happened. And he still does on occasion when I'm on my phone too much or anything like that. But he really, really, really like, his mindset has changed because now he sees that like I am our sole income provider. I do the things, I work hard, and that's what this job is all about. I was a challenger before I was a coach, so I got my results. I saw the product, I saw the proof in the product before I actually signed up to be a coach. I loved the community aspect, which is why I succeeded. I didn't have that last time with the team that I joined. I didn't have a community, no one to share their meal plans with me, no one to teach me how to drink Shakeology, no one to like support me along the way. When on days I was having a crappy day, like this team picked me up and told me like, hey, it's okay, jump back in. That's the beauty of this community. So what I'm looking for, and what I hope to explain to you guys over the next few days, is I am looking for a team of ladies who are not perfect, but want to push themselves every single day to be better than the day they were before. And what I mean by that is I'm looking for ladies who want to work. I'm not looking for ladies who want to be like, oh, I did my workout and I posted it and now I'm done. No, that's not what this is about. We post our workouts every day. We try harder in our workouts every day than we did the day before, and we share about that. We share about our journey. We are willing to be transparent. We are willing to fail forward. We are willing to do things that don't work to make it better the next day. I'm looking for people who want to be the next top 10 coaches. I want to be a top 10 coach. I'm a top 30, we're number 37 right now in the organization out of 450,000 coaches. I'm number 37. I'm not satisfied with 37, and I don't want anyone to be satisfied with where they are. I want them all to be wanting to push. I want to find the next top 10 coaches and run with them. I want to find the next people that want to be six-figure earners. I would put money on the fact that next year I'll be a six-figure earner. I'm hoping we're on track this year to be about a $75,000 earning team. Next year, I'm hoping to make that a six-figure income. I've never even considered that an option for me, ever. No job that I ever went to school for would have given me a six-figure income. I worked in New York City at magazines. I did all the things. I've done the schooling, and I never, ever, ever earned an income like I'm earning now. So, that's what I'm looking for, and you're going to hear from a few of the other coaches on the team today. We have all the training you need. I didn't have any experience with, my only fitness I ever did was my program before I joined as a coach. I didn't have any experience with fitness. So you do not need any experience with fitness. We have all the training you need. The programs, the nutrition is all set up for you. You do not need to know what you're doing. You just need to be willing to do it. That's all. We will teach you all of the things to do along the way and be there to support you along the way with every step. So if you are interested in doing what we're doing, keep watching these videos, keep checking in and checking the posts out throughout the day. We have, I think, 5 other coaches who are going to go in here today and explain their story. You're going to learn from the top leaders on our team, their stories with coaching, with life, and feel free to ask them questions. Feel free to ask me questions, and I will go live again later today with some more information about like worries and misconceptions I had when I decided to actually go in with the business, and like what preconceived notions I had and stuff like that. So I'll go live later this afternoon and talk a little bit about that, but I gotta go and get my son, so I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.